Here with UFC President Dana White in Los Angeles after a big press conference to talk about the second half of this year. You guys have done these in the past. This one feel a little bit bigger, the same? Compare it to ones in years past.
I don't know. We've had some big ones. I mean, the first one we had John Jones up there. We had Conor. We had Ronda Rousey. You know, they're all big. When we can get a stretch of fights laid out and come and do one big press conference, they're exciting, they're fun, and I love them.
Yeah, well, you're sitting up there, and you know the whole time that you're going to announce Conor Khabib at the end of it. Is that a tough secret even for you to keep during those 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's you know, as soon as the deal is done, I always want to scream it out and let everybody know. But in this business, it's hard to keep a secret, especially for a few days to get to a press conference. And the fact that we could get it done. I mean, people still believed that this was the fight that was happening. They just didn't know when we were going to get it done.
When did this deal get done?
Last couple days.
Was it a difficult deal to complete?
Not at all, man. You have two straight killers coming out of the gates that are dying to face each other. And it's what makes Khabib so popular and incredible. He's undefeated. And it's what makes Conor an international superstar. Conor McGregor lays off 2 years, comes straight out the gate and wants to go right after Khabib. You know, they got the bad blood and all the stuff that went down in New York. It's awesome.
Did it require ever getting in the same room? Because I know you guys had scheduled that a couple times. Did it ever happen?
We never got together. We never got in the same room. It wasn't necessary. We ended up getting the deal done.
Dana, last time Conor was at a UFC event, I think everybody remembers what happened, so we don't got to bring that back up. However, is that a concern at all when you have these two guys?
No. I think that, Conor came out and did what he did and didn't expect the results that happened. I'm pretty sure he's on probation right now in New York. I think that we're not going to have any problems with these guys. We're going to have a great fight.
Fight is only 8 weeks away. How do you go about promoting it? Is it promoted? Does it just do itself, or do you guys have something like a world tour planned?
We're not planning a world tour, but we will do some fun stuff for the media and the fans. And this is an easy fight to promote, but we'll put in the work.
Between here and now, there are going to be a lot of people like myself writing columns about what does this fight mean to Conor McGregor. What do you think is at stake for him? I mean, just a meteoric rise, but then he leaves the sport for 2 years. He had the boxing match, and we all know why that happened. He made a whole lot of money from it. Is this a crossroads fight? What is at stake for Conor, do you think?
No, I wouldn't say that this is a crossroads fight. This is a very important fight for both fighters, For Khabib, who's undefeated and looked at as one of the best in the world, beating Conor is massive for him. And obviously for Conor, coming back from a 2-year layoff, in my opinion, and it's crazy to say this because of how popular he is around the world, but he's one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC. Everybody thinks because he speaks so well and gets so crazy and everything, it makes him sort of less of a fighter. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. When you talk about pound for pound best in the world, this is a guy who's actually living proof of pound for pound. He jumps from weight class to weight class and fights people in different weight classes. He went out and boxed Floyd Mayweather, and he is literally willing to fight anybody in the world who thinks they're better than him. It's what makes him so popular. This isn't a crossroads fight. This is another fight to cement his legacy as one of the best to ever do it.
We got to let you go. One last thing, though. UFC 230, Madison Square Garden, November 3rd. You announced today Nate Diaz versus Dustin Poirier. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it seems like you've already lost your co-main event. Nate Diaz, right after the press conference, said, forget the UFC, I'm not fighting. Right. What did that mean?
I have no idea. We have a guy who works here at the UFC who loves the Diaz brothers, and he wanted to get this fight done. He wanted to do this. He thought it was time that Nate Diaz would want to come back. This is his problem, not mine.
That fight takes place 1 month after Conor Khabib. Will the two winners of those two fights face for the lightweight title?
Say that again.
So you have Conor Khabib in October.
Yeah.
And you have Nate and Dustin in November.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, that makes sense, but we'll see how this whole thing plays out.
Appreciate it.
I never make fights until the fight's happening. We'll go from there.